My name is Rebecca Haynes, and I interviewed Officer Frank Hicks, and he is a recruitment officer. So his typical day is going through schedules and charts and then interviewing potential candidates for his police department. What does he do? He interviews families and friends of the potential candidates that he's looking to hire. And then he does lots of paperwork and interviews with those candidates. What kind of problems does he have? When he was a patrol officer, his problems were other people's problems because he had to, go to other people's calls and help them with their issues. His problem through recruitment is working through the cycle of recruitment itself because he has to figure out the greatest candidates for his department. And he has to cycle through them. What kind of decisions does he make? Like I said, it's the recruiting. He has to choose the best candidates for his department. What percentage of his time is done doing what? 80% of his time is spent doing administrative things such as meetings, background checks, while 20% is talking to the people in his department. Officer Hicks who suggests ways students can get experience to get in that field. Yes. And he said that the only thing you can really do is to study your degree in criminal justice and to make sure you get as much human interaction as possible because you will be interacting with a lot of people when you're a police officer. What are the various jobs in this field? There are forensics, narcotics, recruitment team, patrolling, and then the major case unit. The major case unit is what deals with like the homicides and the major crimes. How did he get his job? Well, he was in the Marines for 24 years before he decided to be a police officer. And he just went through the BLET program like every other person has to. And then he put an application in the New Bern Police Department. What does he like most about his company? He enjoys meeting new people and the friendships he has developed over the many years of working there. How his job affected his lifestyle. Well, when he was a patrol officer, he had to work 7 days, but then he had 7 days off. So basically, he had a lot of free time, but now that he's a recruitment officer, he works like a regular 9-to-5 job, maybe more, but he's off weekends. So he doesn't have 7 days off in a row, so he doesn't get as much time to do his personal things at home. And what are the typical entry-level jobs and functions? The entry-level job is the patrol officer, and then you work up and you can just put an application for one of the other units in the department, like narcotics, forensics, major case. I chose to interview Officer Hicks because I would like to be a law enforcement officer myself. So, in conclusion, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. What kind of calls do you respond to?
You respond to all the calls. You respond to crime calls, domestic violence calls. If a cat's stuck in a tree, you respond to that call. If a kid does not want to go to school, you respond to that call. So you respond to everything.
What do you do when you first start out in this fabulous job?
Well, what you do is you start out as a patrol officer, but first you have to take the BLET, Basic Law Enforcement Training. Yes?
What kind of additional training do you have to take?
You have to do on-the-job training, and you have to do basic law enforcement training. And then you're also on probation for a year as a patrol officer.